When I tapped into this energy, I felt very frustrated very, very quickly. Really frustrated, really annoyed, really almost like I'm not even almost, I was shuffling the cards and they kept catching together and I wanted to throw them up in the air. And this is not even my energy, just vexed. Someone is really, really vexed with life. We have the Eight of Swords coming out. Someone is trapped in their mind. They are literally trapped in their mind. Their emotions are really taking control here. As I mean, we look at this, as much as we have this person here that seems to feel like they are trapped by all of these swords, what's really prominent in this picture is the moon and the castle behind. So almost like a tower, right? We have a tower with the moon. So there are changes in someone's life here that are frustrating, angering them. They may feel like it's not fair, like something, look, something is permanent. Someone is permanently trapped in their own emotions, and their emotions are all over the shop. Because we have temperance. Temperance is about balance, but it's also to do with moderation, and nothing is being done in moderation here. Cups and cups and cups of lack of moderation. So someone may be drinking into excess. They may be drinking and drinking and drinking. Look at this. And do you know what I heard when I was setting up for this reading? I heard nobody cares. Almost like a throwaway comment when somebody is moaning and going, oh my gosh, my life. And someone goes, nobody cares, mate. Chill your beans, keep it to yourself. And then we have here the Knight of Cups in reverse. I feel like there's a lot of rejection coming in here. And also the lack of either compassion, the lack of caring. The lack of caring. It's bringing to mind somebody sitting at a bar, like drinking until they're in an absolute stupor. And you know that bartenders are, you know, and this is not what's the word? This is not fact, it's not opinion. But you see that bartenders they become like these open doorways for people to just diarrhea and vomit all of their emotions onto them, as almost like a whiteboard. Like if you think of a whiteboard or a therapist or a blank slate, and they forget that they're people. Why am I getting that? They're forgetting that they're people. But I am getting this person is just sat in a bar and they're kind of just like word vomiting onto someone here who doesn't care, who's literally just there to do their job. Okay. So the Ten of Swords is coming out. This person feels like they can't get up from what has happened, or they can't get out of something here. This person may cry a lot. Like, you know when you cry to the point, you know, like ugly crying. You know when you cry to the point that you block all your sinuses up and maybe you even burst the blood vessels under your eyes. And like the next day, your whole face is puffy, 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 puffy. It's that energy here, but doing this in public. You can, look, cry where you want. I was never going to shame anyone for feeling the need to release and to cry. But this person, and I say but because this person may come regularly to the same bar and come in very quietly and then sit there and drink and drink and drink and drink and then become very verbal and very vocal with their woes, and they are pushing it onto somebody who's just there to serve drinks. You do have this Knight of Cups coming out. This is not just nobody cares, as in the bartender going, dude, I am not paid enough for this. It's also the energy of who they're focusing on is either no longer in their life or does not care to carry their woes. They don't want to carry them anymore. They don't want to be the person who has to emotionally pick up for them. Yeah, look, people don't want to invest in it. They don't want to invest in it. They may end up having arguments or fights with people around them, specifically those who in the past may have actually cared for them. Okay? Yeah, this person is exhausted. Exhausted. People around them are exhausted. Okay. Can I get a little bit more clarity, please? Thank you. Six of Swords. Yeah, people have moved away. Maybe you moved away from this person because they were just too stressful. Maybe their emotions were too prominent, because like we have here, the moon is very, very focused here. Their emotions, their well-being, their emotional regulation. It's all about them and the things that are going through their mind. Even though, like, the Eight of Swords is all about the fact that it's an illusion. We feel like we're trapped, but it's only because we create the prison that we place ourselves into, a mental prison, right? You look at all of these swords, not one of them is actually blocking this person. And whatever they're being bound by is always very soft or very loose. It's very easy to get out of, just like the Devil card. Those chains around the people's necks do not have locks. They can take them off whenever they want to. But it does seem like this person and their needs were always at the forefront. And they're still doing this even to people that they don't know. The Six of Swords here, you can see the moon is in the background. And what's actually in the forefront is the need of others. And the need of others to move themselves away from stress. To move themselves away from conflict, from arguments, from constantly picking up after other people. It's interesting that we had the Five of Swords come out. Now we've got the Six of Swords, and then we've got the Four of Swords. A lot of this is to do with mentality, mental health, the mental body, the higher mental body and the lower mental body. Whoever it is that is sitting there crying into their cup or crying into their bottle, because it's many cups have been emptied here. They're very self-centered. And do you know what? This is something that I'm going to share with you that is my opinion from experience, and it in no way demonizes those who have mental health issues. But I grew up with a family member who had severe mental health issues, and I always felt very, very used, very emotionally bullied growing up before I had healthy boundaries. And it was something came to me, like an understanding came to me that when you are not showing up for yourself, or you don't know how to show up for yourself, there is no way in HELL that you're going to be able to even consider other people's needs. How can you when you are just about barely hanging on yourself, right? And it makes some people, and I'm not going to say all, but it definitely made the person that was suffering with mental health issues in my family very, very selfish, very, very self-centered, very, very much their needs were prominent always, and everybody else's was like an afterthought. And back then it was very upsetting, because we're human too. The people that care for people who have mental health issues, they also end up having mental health issues. I end up with anxiety and all the rest of it. But, you know, less about me. This person is very, very self-centered. They're very selfish. And I think this is just, I can't diagnose anyone in any way, shape or form. I could not diagnose the person from my family either. I wouldn't even dream to. But this person is very reminiscent of that family member who could only put themselves first, that could only think of themselves, that couldn't see me or anyone in the collective, especially if you've had a very similar experience, that couldn't see you as a human being who has needs and wants and, you know, needs to be nurtured as well. And that's what I'm seeing from this person. So there's a lot of self-absorbed stuff going on here, and it's kind of sad. And I don't mean like, pathetic. I mean, it's kind of sad that they aren't able to kind of get out of their own way, and that they're numbing it with alcohol. They're numbing it with some sort of substance here. And then you got the Page of Wands coming out. The energy that I did get was like, at first people want to hear their story. They want, and I heard they villainized you, or they villainized whoever it was, the people that walked away from them, the people that were like, actually, I need to take care of myself. And this person here looks like they're carrying a baby. It doesn't even have to be that multiple people moved away from them. This entire thing can represent you. Especially if this is resonating, in that you are both your own savior, the person who is rowing you away from all of the calamity, all of the stress of somebody else's emotions, mental health, and so on and so forth. That you are being your own protector, your own nurturer, and you are actually listening to your inner child at the same time, right? How apt is that? We have the Page of Wands coming out. The Page of Wands is about excitement, but it can also be about irresponsibility, doing things irrationally, taking risks, you know, speeding around that corner in your car without really thinking whether or not someone else is coming. That's the type of energy that I'm getting here. Why are we being shown this? Oh, before we continue, my name is Bronwyn. This is Bronwyn's Cove Tarot 111. If you are new to my channel and this I was going to say, and this resonates. This is the end. That's what I do at the end of the reading. If you're new to this channel, welcome in. It's always good to have new faces around, you know. Welcome in, welcome in. Pull up a chair. If you are a returning subscriber, soul family, I love you guys. Hearts, kisses. I'm going to ring this bell. This is just to cleanse the space around us. If you have any type of sound sensitivity, I do advise that you turn down that your listening device in 3, 2, and in 1. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Tell me about this 8 of Swords. What's going on? Yeah, there's something about villainizing the person that resonates with this, or the person that helped them the most, or tried to help them the most. Because this is almost like watching somebody fall apart and know that they kind of have to hit rock bottom, truly hit rock bottom, to be able to get out of it. And until they do, they are constantly going to be telling you, oh, I'll get clean, or I'll get sober, or I'll stop doing this, or I'll stop doing that. I just need one more drink, or I just need one more hit, or I just need this, and this. And why am I getting like this person is beyond? It's not that they're beyond help. I don't think anyone is ever beyond help, but they are beyond the help of what you could give them. They are beyond anything that you could give them, and maybe you gave until you had nothing left. Because we have here as well, look, we have the 6 of Wands, we have the 10 of Cups. This could be a family member that you no longer speak to. This could be a lover. This could be somebody that you were romantically connected to. This, you know, there's a lot of failure, or the sense of failure. Like, I have tried and tried and tried, and it just hasn't worked out. A lot of, you know, stunted beginnings. And I think that there's a need here not to blame yourself. I mean, you can blame them, or you can blame the addiction. But there's an energy here of them still finding it very, very difficult to tell the truth. There's something about not telling the truth. Because this barman, barwoman, bar he, she, they, has kind of had enough of hearing the same story, because it's the same story. It's the same thing over and over. And I think when they first started going to that bar or that club or wherever, people were invested. People were like, oh, I'm going to help you out. And then they were like, no, no more. We helped you out. We gave you somewhere to stay for that night, or blah, 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 that, and you haven't changed. And I kept getting this question of, what did you do to them? And of people viewing the collective as, what did you do to this person to mess them up that much? And then over time realizing, no, it's not about what you did to them. It's about what they've allowed in their life to kind of whittle away their soul. And I'm not saying that that's what you did to them. It's just that, you know, we all have boundaries. We either fight for ourselves or we don't, and that's just my opinion. Let me put these out. 10 of Cups in reverse. So this person is stuck thinking about the fact that they've lost maybe a family unit, family support. They may feel like it's your fault. You have Lovers coming out here as well. Do you want me to put this one out? No, I've been told not to. Okay, what about this one? Yeah. Okay. Why do they feel like a failure, or like they've messed things up? I keep hearing you could have helped them. This person is very self-absorbed. Very self-absorbed. I think that they are not fully grasping that they have to help themselves, and that you help them as much as you could. The Magician is coming out here. We also have the 3 of Wands. The Magician is about self-alchemy, but we're also talking about resources, having things, you know, because every single suit in the deck, in the tarot deck, is there, which means you can create whatever it is that you want from you can create what you need from the things that you want, or vice versa. But it seems like this person's doing something in excess. Like, so this person may have cash, or they may have been given a certain amount and they have just blown the entire thing. They haven't learned moderation. I keep hearing it's your fault, and I'm not saying that it is your fault. This is the POV of this person. Okay. Three of Wands in reverse to the Ten of Swords. This person seems to be stuck in... They're stuck in something here. Tell me about that Ten of Swords a bit more, please. To the Three of Wands. Oh, the Ten of Wands coming out. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Yeah, this is some real heavy energy here. I'm going to pop that one over it. Real heavy energy. This person is stuck in some sort of burden that they don't feel they can get out of. I think that this person's brain is on a loop. Why are we being shown this though? Why do the collective need to know this? You've got the Five of Cups coming out here to the Knight of Cups. This person has definitely changed who you are in their brain. And I think that each time they meet someone new or someone who is willing to listen to them, your character changes more and more and more to the point that they're believing their own lies. So it may have started off with them, you know, just telling the story of what happened between you two and how things broke down. I do think that there may be children involved. This could be, you know, the mother or father of your children, or you may not have children with them. You could have cared for their children. You could have been like a blended family, for example, if you have children of your own. There does seem to be a lot of leaning on other people to build their dreams. A lot of kind of like, well, I'll climb onto your back and your hard work, your blood, sweat and tears will take me to where I want to go. I kind of want to go in the same direction. And when that no longer happens, you've ruined it for me. Now that your blood, sweat and tears are gone, how am I supposed to get to that goal, to that dream? You got to get up and you got to show up for yourself. You've got to put on your, you know, big boy, big girl pants, and you've got to go out into the world and do it for yourself. You can't expect other people to carry you. This person may have felt like they've had to lean on other people the whole time. There's something about finding real life or reality really difficult to be part of. And I mean, that's really sad. I hope that, you know, if that's something that you are resonating with, that you reach out to a doctor, that you reach out to a friend, that you reach out to somebody who is a trained professional that can help you, because it's okay not to be okay. Honestly, just don't do it by yourself. Literally don't do it by yourself. And this person has been doing it by themselves for a very long time. We do have the Chariot, we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Six of Swords. These are all cards, all energies of movement. Moving away, moving towards something, you know, growing, changing. If you stay still for too long, you grow roots, right? Six of Swords. Then we have the Chariot. Someone here moved away for their own mental health, for their own healing, for their own balance of yin and yang over there. And then you have the Eight of Wands coming out as well. Some fast moving action. I feel like things started to go in someone's favor here from the collective when they disconnected, when they empowered themselves, and when there is nothing else I can do for you. And there is always going to be someone that is painted as the villain in a relationship when a relationship breaks down, whether that's romantic or not, whether it's familial or your friends or whoever. When you set a boundary that the other person doesn't understand how to or refuses to respect, and you go separate ways, there's always the person who sets that boundary and walks away is always going to be seen as the villain. And I do feel like this person, if this was like a romantic relationship, or it doesn't have to be romantic, but for some reason I'm really getting pushed towards romantic. If this person was kind of like breadcrumbing you or stringing you along, or just, I don't know, there was a fear here of being the one to say, I can no longer be in this relationship. I don't like you. Because this person doesn't like you. And I feel like, and I'm not saying that to beat you down or anything, just this is the reality of it, that this person didn't really like you even when you knew them, whether they were your friend, your brother, your husband. They didn't really like you. And I think it's because you were all the things that they were not. And that's super flipping sad, man. I nearly swore there. That's super effing sad. They didn't like you because of that. And they didn't want to be seen by other people as unlikable. I don't know if this person pushed you for the divorce. Like, they didn't say anything, but they did things that it got to the point where you had to be like, I'm out. I'm done. I am done with supporting you. I'm done with carrying you. I'm done with making excuses. I'm done in trying. We're over. And then they can be like, oh, you gave up. It's you. You're the Judas. And it's like, come on, man. Why do people do that in relationships? Why do people do that? Why can people not? And honestly, genuinely, why? Because I do not know the answer. Why are people not brave enough to go, this isn't working, I need to walk away? Because this person seems to be very it's not just their emotions that are very important, it's how other people perceive them. People are bored of hearing this though. People are bored of hearing this. Tell me about the Page of Wands, please. Page of Wands to the Tower. What were we just saying? Dragging their feet. The Tower is the energy of change. Big, monumental, sometimes scary change, you know. But when you go into the unknown, it can be scary. It's what we don't know, you know. We have to have that bravery, that courage to step off the cliff and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna be carried. I'm gonna be caught by the divine. When it's in reverse, this is, I don't want to. I don't want things to change. I want to keep it as it is. I don't want to move on. I want to grow roots. I want those roots, though, to not expand. I want them to rot. I want to stay where I am. And as I said that, did you not just hear my phone ding? This person is hiding within themselves. It's like their inner child coming out. The Devil's here. The Ace of Wands, we then had the Devil hiding. This person doesn't want to heal because healing means taking accountability. And I feel like this person is really, they're dissociating in some way. Okay. Why are we showing, why is the collective being shown this, please? I heard you need to prepare for what is to come. What is to come, please? Okay. What is to come, please, Spirit? What are we preparing for when it comes to this person? Psychopath is coming out. Archangel Michael's in reverse. Soulmates in reverse. Okay, so this person may be trying to strategize at some point when they're not in a drunken stupor, or when they're not, you know, H-I-G-H as kite, to do something here. So we've got psychopath in reverse. We have abusive, conniving, and unpredictable in reverse. We then have Archangel Michael in reverse. Protection, prevention from harm, divine intervention. Okay. This person has no protection. They may feel very, very vulnerable right now. Soulmate, twin flame, friendship, romantic partner in reverse. This could be an ex for someone here. For others, it could be a family member. Take it as it resonates for you. The Law. There's something going on with the Law. I don't know if this person is going to try and play the victim. Healing and recharge has come out. This is like someone speaking to a social worker, or somebody sleeping rough and then having like an outreach team come in and want to help them, like a charity wanting to help them. And it's starting off with a lie. Like, why are you out where you are? And rather than, I'm out here because of either an addiction or things just went wrong and it continued to go wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong. Them telling people that it's because of you, because of what you did. And I'm getting like a conversation. Like I can see someone like bent down on one knee, like either wearing a suit pant, like kind of thing, or wearing like a suit with a skirt. And they're talking to somebody vulnerable who's sitting down on the ground. And this person taking like notes and then investigating and wanting to find out who you are and what happened. And then almost like waging war or a lawsuit or some stupidity like that against a collective. Tell me about this. Exhausted is coming out. Yeah, wishful thinking. I don't think that's going to happen, to be quite honest. But exhausted came out here with burnt out, burned, or burdened, excuse me, and empty. And I'm placing this one here. And then we have wishful thinking coming out. Second chance, deja vu, and nostalgia. They know they have no chance with you. None whatsoever. None. You've literally sailed into the night. You've gone. Why does the collective have to prepare? Prepare for what exactly? See, you got toxic, but it came out in reverse. Drama, arguments, and incompatible. Anything that they try to plan to do, even if it's not at present and it's in the future, it's not really gonna come to anything. Please know that my readings are timeless. I can be picking up on past, present, or future energy, and sometimes a mixture of all. You do have to use your intuition and your discernment to pick out what it is for you and leave the rest for someone else. We got paranoid coming out here. Cautious, insecure, unguarded. This person may be frightened of the future. Hopeful, envy. Okay, before I go, I am going to just read a couple of these Oracle deck cards, which is the tea leaf deck. Let's have a look. You've been telling me to do all of them together. Okay, let's see. What do we need to know, please? Okay, we've got knot coming out here. Unsuccessful plans is coming out. Someone needs to do the knot tying ceremony, or the knot tying. It's the knot tying ceremony. It's where you take a piece of twine or a piece of very, very thin rope. It has to be easily pliable and flexible. And you tie it for the last time that you felt a specific type of way. Now, when it comes to this person, intuitively, you're going to know who that is for you, whether that's a family member, someone that you loved, someone that, you know, was your best friend, whatever. And I'm not saying whatever in a dismissing way, but you tie a knot for the last emotion they made you feel that was volatile or disempowering. And you kind of remember that memory, you bring it back, you bring that energy back, and it's dissecting it in a way that you can free up space. You can let that energy out. And then you tie another knot for the time before that happened. And the time before that. And the time before that. And the time before that. Going all the way back to the first time that you felt like that. And now you can do this over the space of an evening or over the space of months. It's really up to you. But when you get to the end of it, it's burning it. Burn it up to the person that you used to be before you knew this person. Burn it up to your inner child, to the deities that you know, or that you worship, or that you pray to, so on and so forth. It's very, very cathartic. Someone here may actually benefit from doing something like this. Okay, let me see. Dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past, is coming through. Okay, so there was some sort of, there is money. That's why I was getting that this person had like a lump sum of money that they were spending, and they were spending it without any moderation here. Tell me about this money. Okay. You've got here family wishes come true, and you also have vacation in reverse. Now, family wishes come true in reverse is very interesting. This person may owe a lot of money either to their family, or this family member has not got the money anymore. There's something about it was either supposed to go to you, or it was yours in the first place. They may have stolen it from you. Money. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. This person may be effed because there's a lot of money that they owe. A lot of money that they owe. They know that you're coming into money, or they know that you're destined for something that is a blessed path with money on it. Maybe you were their last chance. This person wanted you to bail them out as always, okay? News of a birth or business, or a new business opportunity, excuse me. There you go. Yeah. Wow. This feels very final. Why don't I say final? Like I am French. This feels very final. Like this person is aware that this is final. That where they are is where they've put themselves. And you got here opportunity or windfall coming through. Wow. It came out on its side, and I really want to put it upside down. This person owes a lot of money. A lot of money. Okay, they're running from something without a doubt. What are they running from? Period of prosperity and abundance, unsuccessful plans. Okay, so they may have had some sort of plan here to either get you back, get you on their side, pull some sort of, you know, emotional trauma, smallest violin, something going on here with their emotions being very prominent, and it didn't work. It didn't work. They took some sort of what they saw as calculated risk, and it went wrong. Because here, with financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past, this is not something they did now. This is something that they were working on top of. It's like they were doing something in the past with money that wasn't theirs. Money that was not theirs. And they thought that they'd be able to pay it back by now. Tell me about this, please. Tell me about this financial gain. The angels are definitely not giving them. Oof, someone new is entering your life. Okay. They wanted to be there. They wanted to be there when a new opportunity came in for you, you know. March is upside down. What is going on with March and their family? Someone you know is undependable and insincere. I honestly feel, sorry, it's really not focusing at the moment. I do feel like this person may be ostracized. They may have been ostracized by their own family. There is definitely energy pointing towards their family knew what they were doing, or your family knew what this person was doing and was part of it, but they seem very distant. They feel like they've put this person so that they're next on the line and not the rest of the family. And it was supposed to sort something out. It was supposed to square something away or make things right with the rest of the family. And they messed it up. They messed it up. They messed it up. Control your anger or you will be sorry. They messed it up big time. They flipped a table. They couldn't get you back. They couldn't get onto this path of money with you. And they're angry. They're really angry that there's no second chance. There's no way out of this. This person just keeps telling the same story over and over and over, and each time they're telling it, they're changing it and changing it and changing bits. And now you are the big bad wolf. You are the one that left them high and dry. You have this new business or promotion or adventure that you're going on that has a path of money, that has a path of abundance. They are, I think they know, but they are hiding it through floods of tears in denial that they have always been that anchor that has weighed you down. And your heart has been so big without boundaries that you were willing to carry them. You were willing to carry them on this path of money. But Spirit wasn't having it. The Most High wasn't having it. The Most High was like, no. They literally are dead weight. They've got to learn their own lessons. And they are not part of your future. And the minute that you let go of them or you set that boundary for yourself, not even for them, but for yourself, slowly things have been going on the up and up. And if they haven't, they're about to. They know this. They see this. They're angry. They're angry. They're angry. They're angry. Successfully overcoming a problem. Look at this. Walking away. Walking away without drama, without arguments, without the need to have like daggers at each other, means that there's a birth of something new coming in for you. New opportunities, successfully overcoming problems. Oof. They were draining you, honey. They were draining you. Plenty of material things are coming in for you now. Plenty. And they know this. Wow. I'm going to leave that there. I really hope that gave you the confirmation and clarity that you already intuitively knew and that you needed. If you are new to my channel and this resonated and you would like to see more of my content and when I post, I would love if you were to hit on the like, the subscribe and on the notification bell so you can see just that. If you are a returning subscriber, soul family, hearts, kisses. I love you guys. Stay awesome. I will see you in the next one. Bye.